A rose by any other name would smell just as sweet. Ouch! And the thorns would prick just as much. Actually, this rose looks real. It even has a scent, but it's fake. It's a fake rose. Let's chat about reality. Real has the name real in it versus, I don't know, a fake construct of reality TV and online media. I feel like I'm a bit naive, but not that naive. All we know is that we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. So I'm referring specifically to the Jojo Siwa, Chris Hughes, Kath Ebbs situation. Let's call it that. If you haven't been privy to it, let's catch you up just quickly. So, Jojo Siwa, formerly of child fame in Dance Mums, has matured into her own brand and adult version. She's American, huge personality, and successfully rage baiting or at least being trolled heavily, masterfully turning lemons into lemonade. I have to say, I've really enjoyed watching how she does that, and I've just been watching the journey. Let's say that. I'm from Gen X. We didn't have all of this. It's still, I mean, it's been around for a while now, but it's not probably my natural environment, but I like it. So she met Kath Ebbs, a sister Aussie from Sydney, and they've been dating, or were dating, for 4 months. I think 1 month of that, Jojo was in the Big Brother house in the UK. And everything fell apart from there. So Mickey Rourke said something pretty old school, nasty to Jojo, who stood up for her sexuality. It was about her sexuality. He was just being homophobic, basically, and threatened sort of assault, really. That's what it was. He apologized, and he probably should not have been on the show. It probably wasn't great for him. And then Jojo confided in straight guy, also reality TV star from the UK, Chris Hughes. And I would say Jojo's very touchy-feely. She is a Taurus. She's a major earth sign. She's a dancer, and I find dancers, actresses, male actresses, etc. They have a different body space. So there is that. But, you know, it really was passing the bounds of what would you call it, friendship, let's say that. You know, it was definitely in a sexual zone, and sexual stuff was happening in my eyes as a lesbian, saying that. And then through the course of the show, this continued, and then Kath flew over from Sydney. That is a hell flight of 24 plus hours to meet Jojo when she came out of the house. I think she came third, and was promptly broken up with. I mean, who knows what went down? I don't know. No one else knows except people involved. Really, right? So it's just got me thinking, watching all of this. Okay, so how much of this is actually real? This could have been a whole strategy between them. So that Jojo could actually maintain her private life. Or Jojo steeped since she was a tiny tot, basically, in reality TV, and, you know, media, basically, being her own brand. And she doesn't have a contrast of that. So she's, you know, extremely successful with her mamager. And is it, you know, people do a lot worse for a lot less. Let's put it that way, money. So this all translates to money, right? At the end of the day, this is all business. So where's that line between personal life and business? Obviously, it can get very blurred, especially in reality TV. Where's the boundary? Maybe Jojo understands that because she's come up with it. Maybe she's steeped in the wool, steeped in the dyeing process. She has no contrast. So I wonder what, you know, there's obviously a huge incentive for coming along with things naturally and then taking the ball and running with it when something presents, like in a reality TV style. It wouldn't be hard to do that, right? It's just managing the process so it doesn't completely blow up in your face. And I would say Jojo knows how to do that. But then how long can you keep doing this for? It's almost like a sabotaging of your own journey for commercial purposes. So I wonder where that line is, how much she understands that and can control it. She's moon in Capricorn. She's a Taurus sun. There's a lot of control here, although she's a very spontaneous ascendant, which is Aries, extremely spontaneous. You know, one of the older astrologers always says something like, shoot first, aim later, or look later, something like that. But she's a strategist at heart, that is there. So maybe she's a good blend of that. I'm wondering, I would love to know, I'm so curious, but this situation was very like ick for me watching it unfurl. And also the other point I wanted to make was it really revealed how much, you know, lesbian same-sex relationships are not respected. And if Kath was a guy and they had a commitment, although it had only been 4 months, I don't think people would be accepting everything and encouraging and wanting to see this continue between these two on screen with Chris and Jojo. And I don't know, maybe Jojo's picked up on that and is sort of shifting gears. Maybe she's created this huge sort of sapphic persona, queer persona, huge. She really flew the flag with that one, juiced it for all it's worth, and then just kind of butting up against that other side of things to create some sort of dynamic tension. While still knowing who she actually is. I don't know. This is all feeling very, you know, women's trashy magazine or trashy magazine, celebrity gossip. But I'm truly interested in this sort of brave new world that is not even that new anymore. I did film for F-Boy Australia as an astrologer. They didn't end up using my segment, but it gave me a little insight into what we all know, that bits are taken and edited in differently. The story can be massaged, or the direction can be massaged, and you know, you want to be that consummate performer that's still in control of what's happening. So super curious. I'd love to hear your thoughts on things. I also think Kath, who obviously I don't know, not a nice situation to be in. If she really has no control in it all, we don't know. But I feel like she was definitely biting off probably more than she could chew, and she was a little fish playing with a very big fish who really knows how to play all this stuff. Kath is a Libra. I had a quick look at what her chart might look like, and now she's famous for her relationship. Which Libra rules is relationships. So she also is social media, sort of a media personality in Sydney, but small fish compared to obviously Jojo, who's been in it for her whole life, so a lot longer, and just innately understands because it's bred into her. And like so many things with media and entertainment, Americans, like, they own this stuff. Jojo's American. I think Australians, we have our own thing, but we just don't seem to have that grasp of it because, like Americans. Anyway, I feel like it's a humiliating situation to be in. The lesson learned for me watching this would be to really be very mindful of that line and perhaps keep the private life much more private, especially when you're thrown into a large arena that is a lot very quickly, too much too soon. Get to know the landscape, keep it private. But again, maybe for Kath, there's an incentive because exposure's money. Like, that's a massive leg up as well. She's much older. I do wonder if she would have dated little 21-year-old Jojo if Jojo didn't come with all this cachet. We don't know. We'll never know, I suppose. So, yeah. I always think of it as Jeopardy, these things. Jeopardy, there's, you know what, there's reasons to do something, but there's good reasons not to as well. Let me know what you think in the comments.